Welcome to Lesson 4.5 of your Dynamic Small Business Search course. In the previous lesson, we added to our list of keywords by analyzing awarded contracts in FPDS. In this lesson, we're going to continue to look at keywords from the buyer's perspective, but do it from within FedBiz Ops. In FPDS, we're very limited to the content available you saw in the description areas of the contracts awarded. But in FBO, we have an entire performance work statement and other documents we can look at to see which keywords might be good for us. As we go in there, we can look at contracts that are awarded. Separately, we can look at current opportunities being put out for proposal or bid. And then we can also look at sources sought. So I want to walk you through each one of those categories. Let's go ahead and head on over to the browser and see what we can see. I'm going to escape here and then minimize PowerPoint. Okay, so we're in FedBiz Ops, FBO.gov, or Federal Business Opportunities. You just pick your favorite way of calling it. I'm going to look here and we're going to go through and search communication outreach. Let's stick with this, right? Communication and outreach is what I'm typing. And this time I want to say, show me award notices. So under type, you can choose award notice. In your research, it's good to do it this way if you want to kind of separate this into 3 tasks. The rest of it doesn't matter. So last 90 days, communication outreach, type is award. I'm going to leave it the same, and I'll just change the type for each time. Let me go ahead and hit search. This is great. This is perfect. Came back with 17. Let's hope it shows us some useful ones. Now, as I come down, I'm going to look to see which ones seem interesting to me. So I like, this is still my favorite one, by the way, if you've been watching all these lessons thoroughly. The drop arm barrier. I like how that keeps coming up. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to open each one of these. And we'll pop in really quickly. Family advocacy, I want to show you that one. I'm opening them in separate tabs, and then we'll come back to this. The rest of these are all unusual ones. They don't really help. I don't know what this is, so I'm going to select it. It says SERB Audiovisual Services and Special Purpose Cables. Okay, so that's it on there. I'm going to just hit back really quick so that guy's sitting there waiting for me. And now let's go through the ones we opened. This first one was an award for video production. I'm going to scroll here and see what we have for keywords. Okay, so they don't have a lot in here. And again, remember, I want you to see the bumps that I go through trying to figure out what I'm doing. Okay, so they don't have packages. We slide in here. It's not giving me access to this, and I'm trying to find the solicitation number. Let me see. I might try to type this person. So here's an interesting way. I'm trying to find this award. Where was the original opportunity? So I'm grabbing Mary Fryer, and I'm going to come right back here to this one, and I'm going to put her name in, and I'll say the last 365 days, and let's see if we can find her. Whoa, holy smoly, she's done a lot. Let's say the last 90 days and see what happens. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, that's interesting. So maybe it's grabbing all of this. Let me back up for a second. Again, you're seeing my awards. How about Fryer? There you go, 10. Let's see what we can find here. So the one I'm looking for is right here, IGF Video Productions. And I think so there's the award for IGF Video Productions. Huh, that's really interesting. It shows the award, but it's not showing when this got done. How far back did it happen? It's just showing who got the award. It's not showing anything else. So I don't know if they are just doing a direct award, but it is what it is. I won't spend a lot of time, and we'll just move on. So let me close that one and look for the next one. So sometimes you'll find stuff, sometimes you won't. Just keep that in mind. Like this one, we're seeing a lot of content that I'll be able to go through. But first I start, okay, so this is my favorite one that had the $900 million opportunity. I would just like 10% of that, please. Wouldn't we all, right? Okay, so we're going to come down here. I'm reading these words in the middle, so let me zoom in so it's a lot bigger. I'm coming down, I'm just reading each one of these lines, and I'll highlight when I see something, but they're looking full range of activities associated with developing and implementing That one's really good. Implementing and evaluating a national integrated communications campaign. That has some keywords, but actually it has a really good phrase in there as well. So if I want to put it up in my capability narrative. Coming down again, here's some others. Executing CMS outreach, education, and communication campaign efforts and initiatives. So that has several different ways of how they're saying it, right? They're looking for somebody who can help with outreach, education, communication campaign efforts, and initiatives, and I want to make sure that I'm communicating that into my keywords. So here, I like this one, internal and external stakeholders. I want to make sure I have that as a keyword. And this is interesting. This is something important for me to put in my capability narrative. Just a quick aside. I wouldn't use it as a keyword, but in my narrative, I would say that I'm experienced at local, state, regional, and national communication, and frankly, global communication. Let's go ahead and keep coming down. So again, we have, this is a really good way of saying it, comprehensive campaign strategy. And by the way, this is some good stuff, again, just as a sidebar. When you're writing your responses, this is some of the ways that you might want to respond, because this is how the government is talking in some areas, and it sounds really good. So it'd be great if you're kind of communicating that back to them. So some of this stuff I'm not really tracking. I like this in industry innovation. I want to pay attention to that. This one's interesting. Motivate behavior change. I'm going to track that a little bit. But again, keep in mind, I'm just looking for keywords here. So digital advertising is a keyword. Media planning, paid search. So these are all good. Social, mobile, and video. These are all typical keywords in this space. They could be typical keywords in IT as well. Content development is absolutely a good one. Community management, also the one that pops into my head as I'm looking at this is communities of practice. So you see what I'm doing, right? I'm coming through this and I can see this. And this is all, let me zoom back out. This is all just in the response on the solicitation. But I could also go into, that's a zip file. Let me see if I can scroll in. I want to zoom over so you can see, so we can see what this is. So these are just examples. I'm not looking for those. I'm looking for, do they have a PWS? These are all zip files. I don't have an interest in opening them at the moment. But so these are just amendments. They're too much. Sometimes you can go into them, but I don't really need to because these guys have it. What I was really looking for, sorry about that bouncing window. What I'm looking for really is a performance work statement, and I'll find it for you in a second. So let me go ahead and close that one. We're going to move into family advocacy. It's not necessarily what I do, but advocacy is a great word, right? And so that's a keyword right there on its own. This time I'm not going to scroll down to see what they have because I see right here that they have a performance work statement. I'm going to click on that and open it. Okay, so here I've got performance work statement. It's out of Italy, which is fine. What I'm looking for is just ideas for keywords, right? Let me back this up a little bit. So here they're talking about, this first paragraph is talking about what's going on in 1.0. And here, I don't want to, sorry about that. The contractors should assist. Anytime I see that, it's really important for what I'm looking for. I like right here, though, this one says awareness program. I want that as a keyword. Contractors shall compile data is below that. Coordinate marketing. Those are activities, good activities, not necessarily keywords I want. So again, I'm going to skip through the introduction. I'm going to skip through the education. This is what they require you to have. This background is telling me what's there. I'm looking for where they can describe some bullets on the work that'll be done. Nothing in that one. I'm going to zoom fast, but okay, so here you go. This is good. Let me come into the functional area before I move out of this. This is a great one. And you obviously will dig deeper into performance work statements that apply to you, but I'm coming straight to here. Looking at this saying, okay, I like this. We've got summits. That's a keyword I want. I don't care about, not I don't care about, but family violence prevention is not applicable to me, but something education, that's good. Here's a good one. Training and skills development is a great one. A community group consisting, that I'll skip on that one. I'm kind of reaching there. Okay, so that one gave me a few keywords. meeting and conferences, that's just stuff that's going to happen. Let me go ahead and minimize that and come back. We'll close this and move on to one more before I move to the next part of FBO. So this one was audio-visual. I didn't know what it was. But even audio-visual, by the way, again, great keyword for me. When you come down, so the first thing I noticed right away is it looks like there's no documents, but maybe there is some information as I scroll down. Let me zoom for you. And it's just telling, this is nothing in there. I'm seeing it really fast. I'm going to stop when I see something. So don't you try to read it until I stop. This is telling us what they're doing, how it's done. Okay, so the technical capabilities is defined somewhere else. So basically, oh wait, here we go. So this is a non-personal services. So audio-visual support, I told you that was a good keyword. Provide personal, none of this stuff really matters to me. These words, they're not good keywords, right? And really it's pretty straightforward here. Scope, here's a good scope section. So as we come through, if I wanted to drop some equipment, it's really important to drop some equipment if you want as it relates to what you do. That's good in a different section that we can talk about later. Coming down, I do see some conference room stuff, but this is all pretty basic. Period of performance. Okay, so none of that stuff was really helpful to me. I got one keyword out of it, but that's the whole point, right? When I talk about bumps, I want to guide you through coming back. You're going to have to spend an hour or two to really find some good stuff in here. Let me do this again now. Come back home. I want to show you one more time. This time I want to show you, let's talk about opportunities that are open right now. So I'm going to say combined synopsis and solicitations. Last 90 days, communication and outreach. And let's go ahead and search that. 37 of those, that's pretty good. I'm going to say show me all of them. Scrolling in, I want to see if I can see, so here's one. I'm going to open in a new tab. I'm going to try youth outreach services. I haven't looked at that before, but let's see what keywords might be there. The training for library medicine. Keep scrolling down. You know what? I'm going to click on senior police advisor anyways, just to see what kind of keywords are here. Soldier member family support, so maybe that's some outreach activity. I'm not doing that specific stuff, but it's great to find keywords. And I'm scrolling down because I don't see a lot more. Gender, social inclusion, social performance. Maybe I'll try that one. And that, I think we got enough. So let me take a look at these. Office and communications and outreach. This opportunity looks like it's currently open. Here's the RFQ, but let me see if it's got more information. Okay, so here they're just going after camera and equipment. I'm going to go ahead and skip that so I don't keep your training going on too long. But it is Canon, so like I mentioned before, you can put your equipment down. Youth outreach services. I haven't tried this one before. This will be an interesting one to see what might be there. Clearly, education outreach services sounds like a good keyword. I'm scrolling down looking for anything that might be in here about the work type. Technical evaluation, and I'll stop as soon as I see something that's in there that talks about the work. They're not really talking about the work here. And I'm just going to scroll really. Okay, so they just put a bunch of stuff in there. Unfortunately, it didn't actually have a lot of stuff there. I think this download's just going to be the same. So other than education outreach, I didn't really get a lot. Sometimes you can move pretty fast. I am going to look at whatever this amendment is just to see really quick if it's something interesting. You'll know better when you're looking at your own stuff. Okay, so this is just some information stuff. Okay, this is Q&A, actually. So a whole bunch of people ask questions. This, based on their questions, I might be able to learn some stuff. And I'm scrolling down. Performance standards, government price. Can the government talk about FTEs and past performance? Okay, so none of it was helpful to me at all. But it was a good exercise. It's showing you kind of the lift to find good keywords. And let me scroll into this guy here. I'm going to, this one here is training and outreach, and I know they just have a ton there. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and click on the PWS and open it. So this is the RFQ, and you see a lot of information in here as we start going through. Clearly, I do training and outreach, and remember, we're doing this exercise trying to find keywords in here. And you got to just kind of analyze what you see and decide what's there. I'm going to keep scooping down because right here it's talking about direction. If I go fast, it's because none of it really matters. I want to get down to the, oh wow, so it really didn't have anything in there about the work. This was just how to do the work. Let me minimize this and see what we got here. So here's another one. Okay, that's the RFQ. I clicked on the wrong one. This one's the statement of work. Let me go ahead and open that. So here, the first page is talking about what they do. Let me see if there's a section down here. There's 11 pages, so I'm looking for a page that'll talk about the work. Here you go. So specific tasks may include outreach, that's good, tailored information, materials development. Okay, so this is how the government is talking about what's in there. I like this one, evaluation, assessment, and analysis. That's an important set of words that they would use. They are talking about certain activities they do, exhibit, training, outreach-related activities. Let's keep going down. Here they talk about logistics support for activities, so webinars and training activity. Again, when you go into your own, a lot of these will relate to whatever type of work you do. I'm going to look down here. This is good too. The contractor shall carry out specific activities. So really, I want to make sure I've got conference, and another way of saying that is exhibit or trade show. So that needs to be in my keywords. Here, coordinate with vendors. So I might put in vendor management. Even though that's not totally what I'm doing, I do want to do some events, and so I want to be found. Some of that other stuff. So these are activities. So this one is all about the activity of putting on an event. I'm going to keep coming down a little bit more. Here's training, certifications, learning management. This one's full of keywords. And so I'm not going to go through on my behalf, but you can see I just found a whole bunch of keywords. I could confirm that I either had them or that I need them. I'm going to pause because that's enough on FBO as we go through and we look at these. You saw what I did. I'm going to come back to home, and I just start on FBO in the home. Last 90 days is fine. You want to type in your keywords here, and then you can choose type. You can choose them all, or I like to choose awards first just to see what's there, and then combined synopsis and solicitations are good. You can also do sources sought. Sources sought I'm not going to go over because it's similar to synopsis in an RFP that's out there, but sources sought is what do they want to buy tomorrow? If you're not familiar with it, you want to get really familiar with it, go through that exercise so you can see what's there. So that concludes lesson 4.5. Remember to stop here. Update your DSBS checklist with the keywords you found in FBO the way I did. Don't let all this hard work go to waste by not stopping and doing this task. Guaranteed you'll thank me later when you start winning more contracts, right? Get it done, and I'll see you in the next lesson.